And good afternoon, I'm Severe Weather Analyst Zach Tomaselli of the Skywarn Network. We are looking at a possible tornado outbreak tomorrow. This would be the first tornado outbreak of the year of 2011, and all the features are coming into place, and I'm going to explain to you exactly the areas that we are concerned about, and then I'll answer a few of your questions that were emailed to me, and also a few questions off of Twitter. So again, let's take a look at the overall picture for tomorrow, the setup, if you will. And we have a cold front coming out from the east, indicated by the blue here, and then the warm front, indicated by the red, and that tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, will be around the Tennessee-Kentucky border, and underneath the warm front and ahead of the cold front is what we call the warm sector. These green arrows indicate warm Gulf of Mexico moisture surging northward into the Memphis and Jackson, Tennessee areas, and further west into the Little Rock, Arkansas area. What we expect is storms to develop in the eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma area and spread a little further off to the east as the day progresses. Once it hits the more moist and unstable air mass, we are expecting possibly some supercell thunderstorms to develop ahead of the squall line, and those are the storms that we are very concerned about. And those of you that remember on Super Tuesday, that outbreak, there was a squall line and then supercell thunderstorms ahead of it, and a lot of our models are showing that could occur tomorrow, and a lot of the features are in place for that to occur tomorrow. We're not saying that it's going to be another Super Tuesday, but long track, possibly deadly tornadoes are possible tomorrow in a very decent chunk of Dixie Alley, and we need you to be weather aware if you live in these areas. So again, let's take a look at what the Storm Prediction Center has to offer us for their thinking. And if we could pull that up, there we go. And they are showing the exact area that's under the threat. Anywhere you see the blue, that's definitely indicative of a chance of severe thunderstorms. But where we see the red and then the pink, that is where we are expecting a very, very good chance of severe weather, and that's where we're thinking the tornado outbreak might be. Now this is early still in the game, even though it's gonna be tomorrow. We might be changing this tomorrow morning. The threat could shift a little further to the east, a little further to the west, maybe a little north of here, or the threat could diminish altogether. But right now, the setup is there for a dangerous tornado outbreak, especially in the Tennessee and Little Rock areas, and that's the areas that are highlighted by the Storm Prediction Center at this point. We do think it'll spread a little further to the east as the evening progresses into nighttime, and we could see anywhere from Birmingham, Alabama north into the Kentucky area. That's where we could see a possibly nighttime tornado event, which is also very dangerous. But we are hoping that as the storms march eastwards, the instability and the wind shear and helicity will kind of spread apart, and the helicity will go off to the northeast and the instability will stay to the south. So we're not expecting those to stay together as the system pushes eastward. When they will split apart, we don't know. But once they do split apart, that's when the tornado threat will likely diminish. Most of our questions are coming about timing, and we have one from Jason in Memphis asking what time the storms are going to hit the Memphis area. And let's move back to our regular map here that we had at the beginning. Memphis area right under my arrow right there, above my arrow, excuse me. Um, Not sure exactly the timing on this at this point. That won't come until tomorrow morning. Things will be more clear at that time. A lot of um, the models are showing different timings, and they have been fairly inconsistent throughout the last couple days. The threat of severe weather has remained consistent now for almost a week. We've had the idea that tomorrow could be a very big tornado outbreak. Um, Still not sure how great of a tornado outbreak it will be. Um, but again, be on the lookout for long-lived and deadly tornadoes tomorrow in Dixie Alley. Not sure what time it'll happen, and if the timing is a little slower than we think, and the system slows down tonight, we could be extending that severe threat a little further west into the Dallas-Fort Worth area and into parts of eastern Oklahoma and central and east Texas. And then Memphis would not be getting hit until probably around 8 o'clock at night. But what we're thinking is probably a little more towards 6, maybe 5 o'clock at the earliest for the Memphis area. And the Nashville area all the way up into the Paducah, Kentucky area and points northward, that will be mostly a nighttime event. But again, as the night progresses, we're hoping that the system really falls apart and that the instability and the wind shear don't stick together and they basically move in different directions. Getting a lot of questions about another severe threat on Sunday and Monday. Yes, we're looking at the possibility of severe weather Sunday, but again, let's get this system out of the way first before we answer questions on that. And again, as always, we want you to be prepared. We want you to know what to do during a tornado warning. Have a plan of action. We want you in the centermost part of your building, your house, away from windows, and the lowest part of your building. Go over that with your kids, especially if they're going to be home alone after school tomorrow. And if you are a school administrator, remind your teachers what to do during those tornado drills that you guys have gone over most likely by now throughout the year. Just know what to do so when we give you your call to action tomorrow, you can easily get to safety. And again, we don't want people that are living in mobile homes or anybody driving tomorrow to think that their mobile home or vehicle is okay and will sustain the winds of a tornado. That is not the case. Even a small tornado will overturn a car or a mobile home. So again, when severe weather breaks out tomorrow, we will break in here in the Skywar Network. I'm Zach Tomaselli, severe weather analyst. Have a great evening.